Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Francesca, and if you're new here, welcome. Today's video is going to be really fun. One thing that I have reiterated consistently within the last few months is that I am in the middle of so many series. So I thought for today's video, we should try to get myself out of those series. Try to get myself in a better place within those series where I can see the end of the tunnel to the finish line of those series, because I am actually in the middle of quite a few. I am in the middle of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 series right now. And that's all that I could like remember just by looking at my bookshelves right now. So it might be wrong. I'm not going to tell you all the ones I'm in the middle of, but I thought it would be fun to choose which series I'm going to continue by doing a like little spin the wheel, a random generator, pick the next series that I read or the next series that I continue. So we're just gonna get right into it. Some of these I already have on my shelves to continue, some of them I don't, so I might have to go to the bookstore and buy them because this is probably going to be a pretty long reading vlog. Let's spin the wheel. Okay. Got, oh, I've been dreading this one. Boys of Tommen. So I am actually on the last book of Boys of Tommen that is currently released. That is Taming 7. I guess this wheel just wants me to cry, basically. I don't need to purchase it. I have it. I have the physical book, and it's also on Kindle Unlimited. Thankfully, I love when something is on Kindle Unlimited. Just reading on my Kindle is just, it's so much more comfortable. It's so much better sometimes. I do love a physical book, but like Kindle Unlimited or my Kindle, it's great too. That is the first book we're going to be reading in today's vlog, so stay tuned. I'm actually going to work right now, so I'm not even going to read right now. I just figured I should get started on the video. Hey guys, so it's actually a few days later. We're not going to talk about it since I filmed the intro, but we are going to start this reading vlog off with Taming 7, which is book number 5 from the Boys of Tommen series. If you guys don't know what the Boys of Tommen series is, what's going on? Boys of Tommen series is a very heavy and emotional romance series. It is romance, obviously. There are a lot of trigger warnings within the series, so I would definitely look those up. But if you don't know what it is, it follows a group of friends, basically. The first two books are for Johnny Kavanagh and Shannon Lynch. Johnny Kavanagh is like this star rugby player in the Tommen High School, and everyone like knows who he is. Everyone knows that he's destined for greatness, blah blah blah. Shannon Lynch is this girl who was severely bullied at her previous school and then was then transferred into Tommen High School, where she meets Johnny. But one thing about Shannon is she does come from like family abuse. So her home life is just very not good. I don't want to say too much just because it is very triggering. But I would definitely look up the trigger warnings for that. But yeah, my girl has not had an easy life, and she transferred into the Tommen school, and that is where she meets Johnny Kavanagh, and story goes on from there. The next two books that follow the series are Redeeming 6 and Saving 6. Those books are about Joey Lynch, Shannon's older brother, and the female love interest, Aoife Molloy. It starts before Johnny and Shannon's like plot, so I feel like that can get a little bit confusing, but basically it starts with Joey starting like his high school days, and he actually doesn't go to Tommen. He goes to the school Shannon originally went to. And it basically just shows how Joey had to become this parent for his 4 siblings. 5? 2, 3, 4. 4 siblings. To his 4 younger siblings at a very young age. I think he was like 12 or 13, I don't know. But he had to become a parent really, really fast because their dad is a horrible man. He's disgusting. With all of those struggles, he starts dealing with addiction, which is like one of his main plots within both of his stories. And so in those books you kind of just see him trying to battle addiction, fatherhood at a very young age, an abusive father, all of the above, and also trying to be a normal teenager. So like it's a lot for him. If you were to ask me which ones are my favorites are definitely the Joey Lynch books. I love Johnny and Shannon's story so much, but Joey and Aoife's story is just everything to me, and I love them so much, and I just love Joey Lynch. Truly love him so much. We are on Taming 7, which is Gibbsie's story, and Gibbsie is the best friend of Johnny Kavanaugh from the first two books. So it's all interconnected. It's all very emotional. They all deal with very hard stuff. I don't know what's going on in these Irish high schools, but they're dealing with it, at least in these books. I'm excited to read this. I have been putting it off for so long because I do love this series so much and I don't want it to end. Low-key, like, not in the mood to read this because, again, I'm not ready to read it, but we're gonna follow the rules in this video. And the first book I got was Taming 7, which is gonna be a rough one. I did hear this one is not as emotional as the other books, so hopefully I'm not a complete mess. But I do love Gibbsie and Claire, which is the main female character, and Claire is one of Shannon's best friends. It is currently 9:39 p.m. and I have to leave for work. I have to be ready by like 12. So that gives me a good amount of time to do some reading. So I'm gonna really try to just grind it out. I don't know why I chose to do a reading vlog when my work schedule is so busy. It makes it so hard to like sit here and film like these time lapses of me reading, but we're gonna try our best. This might take me a long time to film this video. I don't know if it's gonna be a week, I don't know if it's gonna be 2, but I want to at least try to read maybe 3 books within this video to push myself through my series. That's the goal. So I don't know how long it'll take me because I do have a work and school life, but we're gonna get through it. Hey guys, so I just got ready for work. I have read a little bit of my book and I was having Alexa read it to me while getting ready. It's like currently taking place during some of the chapters of Binding and Keeping 13 because there's a lot of mention of like Johnny and Shannon and like certain scenes that I've already seen through Johnny and Shannon's POV, but now we're just seeing like the Gibbsie and Claire version. It is a little bit weird to me just because, again, he's like this comedic relief character in the Johnny and Shannon books, and in this book, like, we're really getting to see the real Gibbsie and then like how he portrays his mask in front of his friends and family. And it's just so strange to me, like, to see this like very vulnerable, like very serious side of Gibbsie because he's just always this very funny, like just the comedic relief type of character. Claire, I feel like, has felt the exact like same almost the way she has felt throughout all of the books. What we're really seeing from her is just like how she's the only person like that knows this real side of Gibbsie, but like we kind of already knew that. But I guess we're really just seeing the true depth of that right now. And another thing that I did forget was the plot line with Claire's brother Hugh and her friend Lizzie. So like I remember in the previous books they kind of mentioned that a little bit, that there was like something weird, but I didn't know exactly what. And now we're getting a little bit more of an inside look as to what really went on with those two characters. And I do believe I've heard that Chloe Walsh is actually working on their book. So like Hugh and Lizzie are getting a book in the future, which I think is like Claiming 10. It is a like unfinished series, but so far we only have 5 books. Kind of did forget that there is a like a minor storyline with Hugh and Lizzie. Yeah, I'm not fully like invested yet, but I am excited to be back in this world. I missed all these characters. I missed this world. I love getting to see more glimpses of Johnny and Shannon. I just love them so much, and I'm so happy to read about them again. I have to go to work now. Can you guys hear that?
My dog has been barking since 7 a.m. 8:44 a.m. Oh, she's been doing that for almost 2 hours. Because there's construction going on in front of my house. And it's driving her nuts. And it's driving me nuts. But I guess that's my sign to get up and go read. My dog is still barking! Gosh. Anyways, please just try to ignore the barking. I'm struggling to ignore it. Please ignore it. I am going to freak out. I'm gonna freak out because reading Taming 7, as you guys know. Why am I scrolling on Instagram and I see Chloe Walsh just announced releasing 10 is coming out in May. In 2 months. I was just talking about this. Guys, I'm so excited. And my birthday is in May. So it's just gonna be the best birth month ever. My 25th birthday. Releasing 10. The Boys of Tommen series continued. So happens that I am actually finishing the series and she just announced while I'm reading Taming 7 that releasing 10 is coming out in 2 freaking months. That is so insane. And I'm so happy and this is now the best day ever. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. This is such a big win for the Boys of Tommen girls. It really is. And yes, the series is extremely hyped up, but I feel like it deserves it. It really does. It's such a great series and oh my gosh. I'm so excited. This is the best day ever. I finished Taming 7. Yay! I have some thoughts. I'm kind of unsure about how I feel because I do love this series like as a whole. The first 4 books are everything to me. And then, so I did go in with this like with really high expectation. So this was a little bit of a letdown. But don't bash me, I still loved it. It's just that I didn't feel like the full priority of this book was Claire and Gibbsy. I feel like it was kind of just really setting up for like Huey and Lizzie's story. And then giving you some like glimpses of Joey and Aoife and Johnny and Shannon. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I feel like it should have just focused more on Claire and Gibbsy's story. There was too much of like the side stories going on for me to feel like this was like a romance book about Claire and Gibbsy. The other 4 books, like the main focus of those stories were the couples. Yes, there was a bunch of other side stories going on, and yes, it did focus on those too, but you still knew that the main focal point was the couple's story. And with this one, it didn't really feel like that. Right now, I have this on Goodreads rated as a 4-star, but in my head, I feel like it's more of a 3.5. But I love the other books so much, and I love all of the characters so much that I like upped it to a 4. It's gonna hurt your soul a little bit reading this story, so think about that before you start this series. There's gonna be a lot of crying. It's a little bit of a letdown. And that kind of sucks because I do love this series. But Huey and Lizzie's book comes out in May. Super excited about that. This book really did help set up that book, I feel like. So I am very excited for that. I feel like Lizzie is going to have like a good redemption arc. Like I need her to have a good redemption arc. Or at least I want her to. So yeah. Those are my thoughts on this. But we knocked her off our list, so that means it's time to spin the wheel again. Options that we have are The Shepherd King, Gods and Monsters, Chestnut Springs, Magnolia Parks, Throne of Glass, Crimson Moth, and Dance of Thieves. Okay. This is so nerve-wracking. Throne of Glass! So that means I will be reading Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. This is book number 3 because I started with Assassin's Blade and then I read Throne of Glass and now I'm on Crown of Midnight. So, ooh, I'm excited. But okay, talk about it because I am made a good decent chunk. It is the next day, mind you. I am on chapter 28, which is page 219. So I'm like halfway through the book already. It just continues from where the last book left off. We finally get to see Selena act like the king's champion. We get to see her role and like how that's working out for her, what she's doing, what she's been up to. And we get to see more of Dorian's like story and Kale's. I don't want to like include any spoilers, but all I'm gonna say is Kale? What? Am I like dumb or something? Because I didn't expect that to happen. And I don't know how to feel about it. Even though I feel like everyone has read this book already, but whatever. Yeah, I'm just really, really shocked by Kale right now. That is just like, what? And then Dorian's like story is getting kind of good. We're getting kind of like introduced to Aelin Galanthinius. I don't know if I said that right. Which I've heard she's like a very popular character. A lot of people love her, so I'm excited to like get to know more about her. So far we just know Selena, Kale, and Dorian, and Nehemia. Oh, Nehemia. She's a little bit like sus for me. Like, I'm intrigued. I feel like she knows more than she's letting on, and she's like kind of tricking everyone. So I'm excited to see what happens, but so far so good. I'm obviously so fully invested. I read 200 pages in one day. Mind you, I work a full-time job as well, and I was doing schoolwork. I'm probably going to do a little bit of work and then continue reading. And I will check back probably when I finish, or if something like juicy happens between these last 200 pages, which I feel like would, but I'll see you guys in a bit. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Actually, I look insane right now. Ignore that. My camera died while I was reading in like the last clip, and in the last clip is when I like read like the most surprising thing. Literally my mouth dropped. I wish it was on camera. I had the best reaction to it, but it is what it is. I'm on chapter 41, you guys. I am on page 312. I started it yesterday. I'm gonna finish it today. I am so deeply invested into this. Oh my gosh. The last thing I said about Nehemia, low-key I was right, but like, girl, I'm so sorry for saying that. I've known from Throne of Glass, when I read that book and we're reading about Dorian, that I was just gonna love Dorian. I think I just need to wait to love him, but I just know I'm gonna love him. Kale, I don't know. Sam Cortland, loved him. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't have words right now. I'm actually like so in shock. I'm eating this up so bad. I'm loving this more than I loved Throne of Glass and Assassin's Blade so far. And I'm so excited and so scared to continue reading the rest of this book. Hold on. Is she Aelin Galanthinius? Oh my god. my god. Oh my god, that was insane. I think I'm gonna sleep on this because I literally just finished this and I can't process this right now. I need to go to bed. And then we can talk about this in the morning. Okay? Okay. Let's talk about it. I don't know why I said let's talk about it because I don't have any words for this. All I know is that I am so deeply invested and I need to get my hands on, what is it? What's the fourth one called? Heir of Fire? Heir of Fire. I need to get my hands on that because I don't have it. But what I am going to do is I'm going to leave Throne of Glass in the wheel just because it's not a finished series. Like, I still have more books to finish. So technically I'm not done with it. So we could potentially get it again and then I just potentially just have to go get Heir of Fire. But who knows? And there are some books on there where, or some series on there where I do not have like the following book. So like I might have to run to the bookstore if I land on said series. Crown of Midnight was so good. It was just, I loved being able to see Selena, what she was actually trying to do as the King's champion, and like getting to see a little bit more of like the side characters like Dorian and Kale. Kind of confused because I've went into the series like thinking like Dorian was like the main male character, you know? And there's obviously like a bunch of different characters, but like he was like the most popular one. Like he's the one that I hear about the most. So I went in thinking that I was going to love him, and I did love him in Throne of Glass. So I was excited to read Crown of Midnight, even though I know like how Throne of Glass ended. I was excited to see read Crown of Midnight to see like where his story goes and Selena's and stuff. Didn't see the whole Kale thing happening at all. Like that really caught me by surprise. But the ending of this book was actually insane because I had no idea that that was what was gonna happen. Oh my god, it was so good. It was so good. I read this in less than 48 hours, like amazing. Now it is time for us to pick the next series for this video that I will be continuing. So I have my little wheel. She's right there. And we're going to spin her. What is it? Oh, Chestnut Springs. I low-key forgot that this was on here. It's been so long since I read Chestnut Springs. Okay, so I think I have the next book. Maybe. I've read Flawless and I've read Reckless. Wait. Wrong series. I've read Flawless and I've read Heartless. Because the other one that I have is Powerless, but I'm not sure if that is the actual next one. Okay. No, it's not. No, it is. Google says it was published in 2024. But then Reckless was published in 2023. So I was like, Goodreads says it's the third one, so I'm just gonna go off of Goodreads. I'm gonna grab it. Okay, we have her right here. We're gonna get started and we're gonna read Powerless by Elsie Silver. Okay, let's talk, because I have been reading this book all day. It is currently now 6:38 p.m. I am on chapter 28, page 280. Ow, just bit my tongue. 287. So I have been going back from reading and listening to the audio because I have been like out and about and I've been running errands and stuff and cleaning, and so I just like to listen to my audiobook when I do that. It's been like a few months since I've been in the Chestnut Springs world and Elsie Silver's writing. I forgot how naughty these cowboys are. Me personally, I'm not a person like, okay, if there's smut in a book, I don't really care. Like, it's not gonna deter me from reading it, but it's also not gonna intrigue me to read it because it has smut in it. If there's like too much smut, I hate it. I will hate the book. If it's like really early on, I'm most likely not gonna like the book. I like slow burns, and with any type of romance really. I just hate insta love, and like especially if there's smut involved. Like if the book is just purely about smut, downside, like I don't want that. But if it's like romance and there's smut in it, like whatever. From the first two that I read and from this one, like I just read a chapter where they like just now started hooking up, and look at all that I had to read to like get to that. The Chestnut Springs series is pretty slow burn. Like they don't just go in and like start hooking up or anything. Like there is good tension and there's build up to their romance itself, and then eventually it happens. But the way that Elsie Silver like writes, like it's just so good. Like it's so fun. It's not like life changing or anything, but it's just like a fun read, like a good fun romance, and I love that about it. And I'm probably going to finish this book today. Like if I commit to it, I only have like a little bit over 100 pages left. Like I could finish this book today. It is not even 7 p.m. Like I can definitely finish this book today. I started this morning. So yeah, but this one's fun. It's kind of weird though because the main characters, so if you don't know what Chestnut Springs is a interconnected series, and basically the main characters all are like brothers, like the main male characters, they're all brothers, no, 4 brothers, and one of them is adopted. And right now I'm reading about the adopted brother. What makes it weird is that the female main character is the biological brother's cousin. So like in a way they are like he is her adopted cousin. So I just kind of keep thinking that while reading it. It's weird to me, even though like they reiterate a lot that they've never seen themselves as cousins or anything. Like they've always just been friends. Like that's always how they referred themselves to each other. Like they have no blood relationship at all, but like also knowing that his adopted brothers are her biological siblings, like it's just, I don't know. It's a little weird to me. Like I understand that it's not incest like at all, but the story is fun. They do have like a best friend like dynamic, and it's proven throughout the whole book and reiterated so much. So I guess it's not that bad, but in the back of my mind, I am constantly reminded that there's like somewhat of a family connection there. I don't know. So that's why I don't think I could give this like a full 5-star. Like right now, I haven't finished it, so it really does depend on how it ends. Right now, I feel like it's leaning towards like a 4-star for me. Maybe like a 3.5 because I like this so far. I don't love it as much as I liked the first 2. But it is still super fun. It's super good. The reason that I'm not loving it as much is because like the main like trope almost is like just miscommunication. Like if they would have just talked things out years ago, like so much would not have happened. And that's like one of my biggest pet peeves is like I hate miscommunication so much. And like a lot of the books that I do read have miscommunication, and I still end up loving the book. It's like such a main like plot in the books, and I still love them, but I don't know. It will always just like kind of shy off a little star rating at the end of the reading for me because I just can't like just talk. I don't like that when it comes to romances personally, but I'm still loving it, and I feel like I can definitely finish this. So I'm gonna try to read some more, and then I will check in with you guys in a little bit, or not in a little bit, but probably later tonight when I finish it, or tomorrow, because she's getting done pretty soon. Hey guys, it's the next morning, which means I finished her last night. I read this in a day. Are you guys proud of me? So I'm proud of me. I haven't done that in a while, and obviously I was like listening to it and reading it, so I feel like doing both like obviously helped me push through this book so much faster. Finished Powerless by Elsie Silver, so this is the 3rd book in this reading vlog. If you don't know, this is part of the Chestnut Springs series, and I talked about it a little bit before in one of the last few clips. Chestnut Springs is a Canadian cowboy romance interconnected series, and all of the main male characters are the ones that are connected, they're all brothers. And no, actually there's five books, five main male characters. Four of them are brothers, one of them is adopted, and then the fifth one is a friend of one of the brothers. So this book was about the adopted brother. The adopted brother, he is this like famous hockey player in Canada, and basically his book is a like childhood friends to like lovers situation. I mentioned before the girl is the biological cousins of his like adopted brothers, so like they are in no way related. Basically this girl, her name is Sloane, his name is Jasper. Sloane and Jasper have known each other since they were kids. She's always had a crush on him. He's like a little bit older than her, I believe, and she's always had this like childhood crush. Everyone knew that she had a crush on him. What I didn't know was that he also like had a huge crush on her. It just wasn't as like obvious, I guess. Kind of just been like this like uncommunicated interest in one another because they were kids. As they got older, like life happened, they kind of just stayed like in the friend zone, like best friend zone, considered each other their best friends and whatever. And then stuff starts going down in their personal lives where they somehow end up in this road trip situation where everything changes, are spending a lot of time together, where they get to finally talk to each other, and they're like at this age. I think she's like 28, he's like probably in his early 30s. Those ages could be completely wrong, I have no idea. I feel like they mentioned it and I think they said 28, but I really don't remember. Elsie Silver always manages to catch me by surprise when it comes to writing her like dirtier scenes, just because I always forget that she writes them the way that she does. A lot of the books that I do read have smut in it, but like I feel like the Chestnut Spring series has more smut than what I'm used to reading, except for like my fantasy books. Like in my fantasy books, it doesn't feel as crazy to me just because like fantasy is like everything's fake, it's all the fake world. But when it comes to reading contemporary romance, this is more realistic. Like obviously it's not super realistic, like it's still a fictional romance, but like these are like real people essentially. And so like when I read about real people doing these kind of things, I'm kind of like, oh my god. Which is why I'm scared to read dark romance. Dark, like yeah, I'm scared to read dark romance because I don't know. I've thought about doing it like as a reading vlog one day, like reading dark romance for a week, because if I'm gonna read dark romance, like it has to be like recorded. Like I'm not just gonna willingly sit here. And actually no, because I do have like one dark romance book, and it's The Predator by, I think it's called The Predator by Runnix. The Predator. I bought this actually a few months ago. I've never read it, and I kind of am just holding on to it until I decide to like film the reading dark romance for a week, because I think that would be really fun to film. But I'm also really scared to read dark romance. But I think this is supposed to be like an easier romance, or easier dark romance to read. I'm not too sure. But anyways, that just got completely off topic. Powerless by Elsie Silver. She's great. I gave her 4 stars. I want to say it's more like 3.75, but I rounded up to 4 because although it was really fun and like it was everything that I needed it to be in the moment, I didn't like it as much as I liked the first 2. What I am excited, what I did like was that they kind of like peeked into the next couple's book. Is that worded right? Which is Theo Silva, which is one of the brothers' friends, and Winter, I think her last name is Valentine, which is one of the female main characters' sisters. And I'm really excited for their dynamic. I've heard that their book is like a fan favorite, but I don't have the physical book, so I just had to go buy it. Same with Aerify. I want to finish the Throne of Glass series. Like right now my mind is Throne of Glass, Throne of Glass, Throne of Glass. Obsessed, obsessed. But what can you say? Like, yeah. This vlog is so insanely long. I'm pretty sure I had like 2 hours of footage that I need to edit, and I don't know how I'm gonna shrink that. So we're gonna end the video here. Thank you guys so much for following along in this vlog. I made a good chunk in my series. I finished one, technically, because I finished the Boys of Tommen series of what's already published. Miss Chloe Walsh decided to publish the 6th book in 2 months. So I have to read that later on. But for now, one of my series is checked off my list, and we're making progress in the other ones. Chestnut Springs, I only have 1 book left. No, that's a lie. I have 2.
Okay, we made a little bit of a dent. Not as much, but that just means I had to make a part 2 of this vlog. So, it is what it is. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to follow me on all of my social media, I have everything linked down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!